lies, deceit, snitching, all this type of shit going on in today's stream. Rest in peace, my guy Hef, man. Some of y'all remember Hef from the battle rap space. We having a conversation one time. I said something that like blew his mind. I said, "Man, you only supposed to lie to women and children." I'm not saying that I still carry that. Okay, ladies, don't get mad at me. But some people would probably add a couple other things onto that as well. They might say authorities, like snitching, right? I'm not saying none of that. For the authorities that might watch my streams or try to use something against me later on, God forbid, I ain't saying none of that. But there is a huge thing to see into somebody's character, you know, who they're willing to lie to, what they're willing to lie about, and what type of depths they're willing to go to hide their skeletons. And then on the flip side too, there's always something to be said about the people that see the truth and won't accept it. All right. Like there's always something to be seen about or said about those people. But it's tough, man, because when you live by that side where it's just not the popular consensus and it's easier to go a different route, you just become the minority. And that's always a tougher route because you're dealing with, all right, I'm standing with 10 people and then there's 1,000 of y'all on the other side of the gate. It is what it is. So today, anyway, that intro right there may apply to certain points, if not almost many of these topics in the stream. We'll see. Today, we're going to start with Dame Dash. Y'all see the thumbnail, y'all see the title. Dame Dash sends 300 million lawsuit letter to Camron. I think the thumbnail says, did Dame snitch or is Dame snitching? Question mark. We'll get to it. And we're going to get into the whole snitch breakdown topic. I'm going to give you my full definition again. I'm going to act like we haven't said it 20 times already on this podcast. I'm going to act like 2 years ago I didn't do a whole snitch series. What's a snitch? What's a tattletale? What's a civilian? What's I did a whole series, like 5 videos in a row. I'm going to ignore all of that and we're going to spin the block and we're going to touch on all that. And then we're going to answer about Dame. Okay. In the midst of that, of course, we're also going to see some other updates, the whole Dame and Cam stuff. So we got a couple of videos to look out here with that. We're going to go to David after that. All right. A lot of videos and alleged evidence and people connecting the dots. The internet is the internet, boy. We're going to pull it all up piece by piece. Look at some of the stuff, react to some of the stuff. And chat, y'all gonna have to go through some of the stuff in today's stream and tell me, is he cooked? Is he done? Has he been right there telling on himself this whole time? We'll see. What else do we got? We got some politics and some Charlie Kirk related stuff. All right. Some more reactions around Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. We're gonna also play a bunch of clips of Charlie Kirk, kind of continue to bring to the surface as to why he's disliked by so many people. But I also know there's also a billion people that love the man. All right. So we're going to continue to dive deep into those weeds with Charlie Kirk. What else we got going on here? Well, I got some of Charlie Kirk's origins here as well that are very compelling. Don't know if they're 100% true. Don't know if they're false, but very compelling. We'll see how y'all feel. I got a battle rap segment, but it's a little bit more down the road of the stream today. It's not in the middle. It's not early. I changed the placement based on how I feel about the topics. But in today's battle rap segment, we're going to do Coffe and we're going to do Hitman. All right. Some new stuff that came out from both of them. All right. What else do we got? We got a video of Rajah Jackson. I got a well-known, very feared and respected rapper that is deceased to close out the stream. Well, at least from the topic standpoint. And then since it's Saturday, we haven't done it in a while. I got some music that we're going to go through, but it's going to be in a way where I think many of y'all are going to get upset at me. I take my little jabs. It's all good. I do it for y'all. I do it for the stream. And said that, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to everybody enjoying this beautiful Saturday morning and getting to it. Y'all ready to go? In about 20 seconds, y'all ready to start? Anybody seeing one of the new additions? I don't even know what this shit says. I swear on everything, I didn't even read it yet. I just saw the lettering on the side where it looked cool. I grabbed it because, the A's always rock. When I put it on, though, I was like, oh, that shit's Way brighter than I thought. What is that? Velvet? That's different. So I grabbed that. So fuck it. I mean, y'all troll me later on if y'all don't fuck with it. I'll never wear it again. I'm lying. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready to start walking? All right, let's do it. Let's go to Dame. Dame, come hang out with us for a little bit, man. We got some topics to address. We got some things that we want to talk about. All right. Dame Dash plus Family Office. This Family Office shit. If y'all haven't seen my Family Office exposed Dame Dash video that got put on the channel like 2 days ago, something like that, it was in our full stream as well. Go check it out if you've missed that. Dame Dash Family Office exposed is on the channel, y'all. But anyway, Dame Dash plus Family Office sends demand letter to Camron for 300 million lawsuit. Once again, Dusko Poppington, certified account or verified account. This is Dame Dash's page. Let's read his caption before we go through some of these slides. I never hustled with at Mr. Camron. You just the other day was telling us a story of y'all three, you, him, and Big L in the car, and you had 3 bricks. Now you didn't say that they was hustling with you, but I'm just when people say I would never go next to that nigga and I'd never bring my girl around him, I'd never hustle with him or whatever, you're saying that there's something about him that you would never do certain activities around him. And you just told us a fucking story about deciding for you to have bricks in your trunk while you had Camron in your car. Anyway, he's a civilian, okay? But he's fucking with my family office and he's now made my wife and 2 of my sons uncomfortable. I would never do anything violent. And that's the cop out right there. And I don't want anyone that loves me to do anything violent. So this is the only way, I guess, because you didn't get your debate with him. So now you feel like this is your only alternative. He never brought you up on his podcast to argue face to face. Okay. Which is what you were begging for. And I don't want anyone that loves me to do anything violent. So this is the only way I can handle this. So this is my version of how the Godfather handled Fredo. Here he is, thinking he's Godfather again. You're a little bit too hung up on that movie, B. Y'all know how much I revere The Wire. But I ain't walking around trying to be Stringer Bell or no shit like that. I'm not, damn, what would Stringer do in this situation? No, what the fuck would ARP do? Like, Dave is, all right, let me stop breaking down sentence by sentence. Let me try to get through this. My bad, because my nerves is getting tweaked. All right, Godfather. I knew it was going to be one of my brothers. I just didn't know it was going to be you, bro. And that does make me sad. We'll just have to let a judge decide like businessmen. And I don't find it funny. I hope you don't have any houses in your name. They're about to be mine. Laughing emoji. And Big Fendi TV, I do forgive you because I do consider you my brother. Never let any man go at your family, wife, or kids. Protect them at all costs. I bet you'll shut the fuck up now. I dare you say something. Hashtag Godfather. Now, the one piece in here that I do fuck with him for is this one right here. Never let any man go at your family, wife, or kids. Protect them at all costs. Because Cam allegedly reached out to Dame's son and offered him money to come on the show. So I agree with Dame there. That's the only place I agree with him there. Because that's just stepping out of line. Kids is off limits. But suing somebody for $300 million, how is that your way of protecting these kids? I guess it's your way of shutting Camron up. I mean, it seemed pretty much like a back and forth to me, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, let's keep going through the rest of these slides. What's this? I suggest you send this, redacted, and you went too far. You broke my heart, Fredo. We can squash this, but you have to holla at Daniel. I'm not talking to you anymore. All right, so that's a DM. That's Camron. All right, so it's a DM they say sent them. Another one of his Chat GPT documents or demand letters. Remember, this isn't a lawsuit, people. These are emails that he's sending to people. The other one was Claudia Jordan and a midst of a bunch of other people that was talking about a weed company and losses of my movie that I did and over here and over there. And I had a default judgment for $300,000 because somebody contacted my lawyer while I was in the midst of dealing with bankruptcy or whatever. All these point and finger things or whatever. We just did that yesterday. So this is the one that he copy and pasted and altered some of the verbiage for Cam now. Formal demand letter. Oh, did I say 300,000? No, I didn't. I said 300 million. I think we said 300 million in the title as well of the stream, right? Did I? Yeah, 300 million. So yesterday seemed like it definitely was all types of claims, and you had 20 different people in it, right? For 100 million. This one, 300 million in damages. Why? Dear Mr. Giles. So yeah, you're going at Cameron Giles. That's his name, right? This office represents this office. Just like yesterday's letter, it was closed out. Sincerely, Dame Dash and Dame Dash Group or something like that, and that tweaked my nerve. I was just like, in what world does a lawyer not send a demand letter or a cease and desist or a lawsuit initiation? In what world does a law firm not send it? Unless you have lawyers in the Dame Dash Group or whatever. But anyway, everything's your family office. Okay, cool. The office represents Dame Dash, Raquel Horn, and the Dash Group. Please be advised that this letter constitutes a formal demand for immediate corrective action and compensation, God forbid you don't get that then mixed in there, arising from your unlawful actions. Unlawful. Right, so you're saying that Cam is breaking the law. Okay. Factual background, defamation, Damon Dash. You made repeated public statements, including on Instagram, falsely calling Mr. Dash a liar and undermining his credibility in connection with bosses, take losses, and other business dealings. Okay. You admitted on video that the entire situation was a lineup, thereby conceding participation in reputational sabotage. Let's all blame Cam. These actions interfered with Mr. Dash's business negotiations, including Rockefeller and Jay-Z. Oh, wow. So that one right there, everybody knows he don't talk to Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z and him ain't friends. They ain't talked for probably 15, 20 years, right? So if you're saying these actions interfered with Dash's business negotiations, including Rockefeller, Jay-Z, he's talking about Camron saying too early about him possibly being like a president within Rockefeller, and then Jay-Z came back and shut that down. So that's like 15, 20 years ago then, right? Is that a time barred situation, Dame? Is that legally? Can you still file for that time-wise? Wow. You put that in your demand letter. That Camron spoke too early, and now you want to sue him for it. Yo, hold on one second. This is fucking killing me early in the morning. That's my morning voice be fucking me up sometimes with y'all reading this shit, and I'm pissed off looking at this. Really, somebody is stooping to this level. The respect I once had for Dame, it's probably almost all gone. But we'll continue. We got more. Insane. Defamation and harassment of Raquel Horn. Is that his girl, his wife? Who's Raquel Horn? I don't want to waste time pulling it up, but harassment is in there. Okay, yeah, you're saying he's definitely breaking laws, right? You publish social media posts falsely stating that Damon Dash owns nothing and that all assets are in the Ham's name. Well, I think everybody's alluding to that, and everybody could see that that's a high probability. For me, I'll still say allegedly, but you had reports that came out from your own, what was it, your bankruptcy definition of like $2,500. They also asked you about it on the Breakfast Club, right? They brought that up. That's what the whole thing of I only own a watch, like $500, a cell phone, right? That's where all that came from. And we look at why a lot of people, I'm not saying you, Damon, allegedly use a family office to hide their finances, especially in the midst of allegedly spending $250,000 a year in child support, having lawyers that either won judgments on you that possibly are looking to be paid, or people that's still trying to sue you, allegedly, and maybe even the IRS. Now, I don't know if a family office can block the IRS. The IRS might be that type of level that has access to all. But the family office isn't just a I'm wealthy and I earn over $100 million type of thing. the family office also consolidates, protects, and makes a lot of things confidential. All right. But anyway, check out that video. We got deeper into those weeds. All right, your social media. Cool. You disparage Miss Horn, personally causing humiliation, reputational harm, emotional distress. So he's including all the family because it's the family office. So you hurt me, possibly my son, my girl, anybody that's defined in my family office under the Dash group and all of this. We're all suing you. Okay, disparagement by the Dash group by publicly attacking Mr. Dash's ownership, interest, and credibility. You damage Dash's group and reputation. You made false statements about ownership of Mr. Dash and Miss Horn's residence. I mean, so did Claudia Jordan, saying that you're stunting, renting a bunch of cribs and acting like you still living big, and then you default on rent and you don't pay it, and then it's on to the next. That's what she said, allegedly, right? I'm just saying, you're the one that's up at the Breakfast Club saying, "Who's got a bigger house? I bet you my crib is bigger. Hey, listen, I'm gonna post my view. Now post your view." You made comments that forced Mr. Dash to involve his son, Christian Dash, causing him discomfort. That's the only thing I'll never side with Cam about. I don't like his son coming in. I give that one to Dame. You attempted to pay Damon Dash $5,000 to appear on your show for the purpose of embarrassing his father, despite knowing the sensitive nature of their relationship. Why do y'all have a sensitive relationship? So are you blaming that on Cam right now in this particular moment? But at least we have the number now. At least Cam wasn't cheap. You know, you offered your son 5,000. It's not like you offered him 500. So we got the number now at least. G5 Pink Mint cannabis deal. You put that in the last shit. How come you might as well just put Camron in the last email demand letter then? That's attached to the 100 million. Because here you are now in the 300 million one that's specific to him, but you got this pink cannabis one in it. So I think a lawyer would want to put Camron on both, target him on both, right? That's what a good lawyer would probably do. That's that scorching the earth concept when somebody's high power lawyers say we want everybody and everything in every tie, and if some drop off, they drop off. But we're gonna, and that it's expensive. You know what I'm saying? That's like that class action type of shit as well. Trust me, I had these conversations. Mr. Dash introduced you to Larry Smith for the purpose of pursuing a collective damages are estimated 300 million. The demand, according to our clients, hereby demand to our clients. You're gonna say our clients, but it's gonna be signed by you again at the bottom. Our clients, but you're like talking for anyway. Hereby demand that you, within 14 days of receipt of this letter, cease and desist from making further false defamatory or disparaging statements regarding Damon Dash, Raquel Horn, or the Dash Group. Remove all defamatory posts and issue a full public retraction and apology on Instagram, YouTube, and other platforms where the statements were made. Number 3, provide a full accounting of this guy and his discovery request. You don't get nothing from me unless we're in a litigation. Discovery shit. Send me all your emails, text messages, videos, documents, contracts. Even Drake, you want that shit, you gotta do a formal complaint and take it to a legal level. If you want Spotify and all these people, you got to go there, buddy. Nobody does that off of Chat GPT emails. I wouldn't neither. Dame, you hit me up right now about this stream with this very same letter. I'm not budging. You're gonna hear from my lawyer. I'm not sending you shit. My lawyer may or may not send it to your lawyer, depending on that back and forth. And that happens down the road. Yeah, you're crazy. All right. Provide full accounting, revenues, and profits derived from Dipset Clothing Company. G5. So now what? You're going to say that he stole money from you? Who owned Dipset Clothing Company? Was it under Rockefeller? Was it under you? Compensate plaintiffs in the amount of 300 million. Preserve all evidence. Oh my God. All right. Let me get this shit out of here. Let's take that down. Let me bring up just a recent video now of him continuing his back and forth with Cam. Let's see what he's talking about.
Big phone. And you know, And this is the thing about the character, my character. This is one thing Cam knows. If a nigga punches me in my face, I'm swinging back immediately. I'd rather get my ass whipped. I'd rather get beat. I mean, I got jumped by 30 niggas. I fought all of them. I caught some stitches, but fuck all that. I would not be able to live with myself if somebody punched me in my face. And when I asked my cousin why he let True Life punch him in his face, he said, I wasn't getting paid this day. And he didn't swing back. So I wasn't fighting for someone that's not fighting for themselves. And he's warned that we are different kinds of people. You'd rather get punched in your face and not swing back in the moment. It's not even a thought. And then I'm like, he hanging out with Steve Stout. And I remember when I smacked the shit out of Steve Stout, he did not swing back. So he should be in that crew. They're the not Paul swing back crew when they get punched and smacked. I'm not in that crew. This is because you f***ed with my kids. This is why I'm saying the truth. I'm not holding you down no more. Pause. Pick up their phone. And you know, and this is the thing about the character, my character. This is one thing Cam knows. If a nigga punches me in my face.
We're about to get into the telling shit, but you know what? Hold on. Let me go back to something real quick, y'all. I'll do it here live with y'all. Let me go back to the smaller screen for a second. I don't need that. Let's go back to Dame Dash's joint. This whole demand letter to Cam. I just want to look at some of the comments on his own page with y'all. All right. I forgot to do this in a second ago. All right. What's the first comment? Jay-Z was right. 2,600 likes. That's the first comment under your shit on your page. Jay-Z was right. To get away from you, boy. Jay-Z made the right decision. Everybody sees why. 2,300 likes. This person, family office equals Dame Dash plus Chat GPT. These are your fans on your page, Dame. Don't get at me, please. Please. What's the next one? That's not Harlem. Real men don't sue men over words. What's next? Camron said he felt like Dame lined him up. Now I believe him. Camron was right. Dame was trying to line him up the entire time. Keep playing chess, bro. Laughing emoji. How you going to talk shit then when someone responds to you, you want to sue? Very Trump-like. Definitely not Harlem. Stop right there. This is where we now get to the thumbnail. Is Dame on some snitching shit? Now, we're going to walk. We're not going to rush. Saturday. Today I got time, cuz. We got time. So if anybody that hasn't watched any previous streams, anybody that is new to the podcast, anybody that hasn't had this conversation with us before, let's do it now. Let's do it again. I'm going to keep myself calm. Try not to get frustrated. Let's do it. Why not? What is a snitch? What is a rat? Let's try to cross off some of these I don't know what generations or what real snitches or what weirdos or what people never been into nothing or been a part of nothing, never really sat in no detective boxes, never really been in trouble, never been told on in any form. I don't know who made some of these weird rules that happen, but let me freestyle some of the rules to take off the table just to make sure that we get around those corners first and foremost. Snitching isn't only to cops or detectives or a judge. Okay, that isn't the only people you could snitch to. Let's get that out of here. Here's another horrible one for you clowns. It's only snitching if somebody goes to jail. You are a fucking clown. You scare the shit out of me. I want to stay all the way away from you. You're only a snitch if somebody goes to jail. Okay. All right. Nobody got locked up behind what I did. So All right. All right. All right. What are some other bad ones? I told the world what people already know. And I just want to talk about what you did. Is it telling or is it not? Black and fucking white. And there's a million other ones that's just weird as fuck in today's era, in today's world. Um, do I have to be a street nigga to be a snitch? Let's take that one off the table too. No. No. Snitching is not only for street niggas and for gangsters. Okay? Now, let's start here. You can be a snitch or rat simply by, well, here's the actual definition to me. If you invoke, cooperate, work with, use, leverage, any of that sort of an authority figure in a situation that you partook in. If so, you are a rat or a snitch. Let me expand that now. Okay? What is an authority then? An authority is anybody that can uphold a rule or a law, the enforcement of laws and rules, which means a cop is definitely an authority figure. Your mother and father are definitely authority figures. The teacher, the principal, is definitely an authority figure. You want examples for anybody that forgets their childhood? Let's use the mother and the father one. Me and my brother is playing football in the living room. He tackles me into the lamp. The lamp breaks, right? We also have a dog. Maybe the dog knocks shit over sometimes too. Mommy and daddy come home. They call us both there and say, both y'all front and center. Who broke the lamp? My brother says, Adam. Oh, you ratted me out because we were both doing that. Damn. Why we both couldn't just shut up? Now, in the midst of that, sometimes y'all both get a whooping, but that's just the prices you pay for partaking in something and making a mistake. You have to deal with the consequences. Okay, so y'all both get whooped now. But if you just, hey, no, he did it. No, he did it. Spider-Man meme it. You ratted your brother out. Okay, that's why we learn that shit as kids. Telling on you what. All right, let me use now the principal or the teacher shit. I said this one before on the channel recently too. Me and my best friend are cheating on a test, cheating on the SATs. We know we're both cheating. We both actually snuck some answers in. All right. He and I both get a 98. Everybody else in the class averaged like 85 and below. Teacher looks at us too and says they got the exact same answers and they both got a 98 and the rest of the class got 85s. They call him, the teacher calls him into the classroom dolo one day to speak to him. He says, yo, Adam, is the one that gave me that the answer sheet. He ratted on me. That's a rat because we both were partaking in it. That's a rat. Okay, we both were in that mix. This is why it bleeds up to street niggas and gang members, because you guys are both engaging in criminal and street activity. So before something goes left, you're supposed to accept the consequences. If I'm not involved in it and I tell, I'm not a rat, especially as a civilian. Okay, what's an example of that, ARP? I'm Johnny that's heads down on my SAT. I ain't cheating with nobody or nothing. This guy just happens to be looking over on my test. He stole all my answers. And the teacher calls Timmy, and the person that cheated off my test to the class calls back. Y'all both got the same answers. Who did it? Right? If I say it damn sure wasn't me, or if I say I think I saw him looking over sometimes or whatever, that's just a little civilian kid that got nothing to do with that kid that was just looking over his shoulder. He's not a rat. He's a tattletale, but he's not a rat. He's not a snitch. Authority figures, people. It's not only fucking cops. When people do that shit, it scares me too. You want to know why that scares me? Because then you start to even get people that separate criminal versus civil. Can you be a rat in a civil case? 1000%. If you partook. If me and you get into it and you get the worst end of the stick, and then you go call a lawyer to sue me, you're a rat. Period. You can't be involved in it. You can't partake in it and then work with authorities of any type, even if you're a civilian. And people that are civilians don't care about the rat label, but the action is still ratting if you partook in it. Because you can't just say we separate in the street niggas from the civilians and that's the only determination of rat. No, a civilian who's not in street or illegal activity can still partake in something that is wrong. It might not be breaking a law, but it could be wrong. Nobody's going to jail for cheating on a test, but it could just be wrong. And I cooperate with the authority because we both got caught. I'm a rat. Said that. The question now for Dame, this is why, how many times did I say for Dame, like, one thing I respect about him is he stands on his square. His principles, whether right or wrong, he don't want no handouts. He's not going to stray off of his points. He's going to stand up for himself. And it is what it is. But the hypocrisy that has continued over the last, let's say, month plus up until today, the alleged lies that have continued, like the chairman, CEO of Revolt thing or whatever, allegedly, right? Even little small shit, like just arguing with Charlemagne, like, that's why I never hang out with men. And Charlemagne's like, you just walked in here with a man. We talking about even little small things. His character has been taking a lot of hits, and it's not Cam's fault. It's what he's doing and the things that he say that people are simply invalidating or challenging. And guess what? For the Dame Dashes of the world, I won. I said, this is a losing battle for Dame. Because if you want to get into it with the 50 Cents or the Camrons of the world, these are people that have their own platforms and big voices. Camron will use you for content, and he will talk about you 5 days a week and make a big ass bag off of it on his platform that's under Revolt. And if you go to shit, there might be one that we're going to bring up. There is when we get to it. Revolt is promoting the shit too. The back and forth. Revolt on their social media platforms. You're going to sue them too? Send them a letter? Revolt is promoting it too. Give me a second. We'll get there. Meanwhile, because of how you don't stand on your own platform, you have a YouTube channel, but instead, you got to beg Breakfast Club or Camron to bring you up to argue. You don't have a process or editing situation or a shooting situation or even the work ethic or whatever to go sit there on camera every day the way that these guys are or will. So it's an uphill battle. And now that you have lost it, you have called on authority figures. We know it's just a demand letter. It's not filed. I'm 40% believe that you would even move forward with this. I really believe it's just like a threat to try to get these people to leave you alone or shut the fuck up because you've lost this internet war. And you see it in your own comments that we just showed. You've lost. And we predicted this type of loss. Right? But you now threatening legal process. Meanwhile, you're on camera. You're in videos talking about Cam. Yeah, you got slapped and whatnot. I come from a world I would never do that because one time I had to slap a nigga named Steve Stout. You in the slap a nigga club, right? Or when True Life punched you with it, you ain't do nothing. Yo, that's character assassination, right? Camron is a rapper. You want to know one thing that applies for rappers? They all got to be tough and they all got to be gangsters. If you get your chain snatched, if you get punched in the face, if you get slapped, if you don't retaliate, your career is over. That's how the hip hop world be. And you are putting that on Camron's jacket. You're telling us all these new stories or new fans. Some of us, we all knew about the True Life shit, depending on your age. Most of us in this chat knew the True Life situation, right? But you're even giving new situations that some people never heard of before. And you also got new fans that you're talking to. Well, he got punched in the face. What's that about? Oh, I'm not watching his show no more. I'm not buying Cam's products no more, his merch no more, because Dame convinced me that Camron is a punk. It goes both ways. You're not getting on camera and saying, Cam, this is wrong what you're saying about me, and the only thing I gotta say is defending your accusations. You're wrong for saying this about me. This ain't true about me. Let me clean this up. No, you're getting up here and you're dissing him too. You're telling stories about him. You're giving revelations about him. You're disrespecting him as well. He's just better than you. He just won. He just has a bigger, a more consistent platform than you. The fans are on his side. Some of that is your own fault. The shit that you're saying yourself, like the revolt shit, for example, some of that is you. If you would have got up there and showed us proof, like, oh, I'm about to be a chairman or have stake in revolt, and then the CEO came out and said opposite of what he said, like, yeah, that's true. Dame is coming on board with us in a week. And then you became Cam's boss. We'd be like, oh, Cam, you better fight back, nigga. But it happened the other way. And that's the problem. You can't go to authorities after being involved and you take the loss. That is ratting, snitching, sucker behavior. Sorry, it's true. All due respect. I'm not here to call Dame a rat. I'm not here to call him a snitch. I'm not. But I will double back and say, people, am I the only one that believes that this is the definition of a snitch and this is the definition of two people being involved in the same back and forth in war, and then one took so much of an L, he then went over here and did that, which is something we don't expect from a nigga that's fucking bragging about walking around slapping Steve Stout or talking about how Harlem he is or how tough he is. He never run, never this, never that. He got jokes for days, Harlem this, Harlem that. How could I expect that from Dame? So to read that letter after you participated in it and you lost, you know, another thing that's lost that nobody cares about, that really doesn't matter, the last bit of respect that I had for Dame. It is what it is, man. It is. I can't do that shit. I can't do that shit. You gotta take your fucking loss. The worst loss of my fucking, the worst ass whooping I ever got. I swear on my two children right now, I'm about to tell y'all something so fucking real. I swear on my two kids right there, both upstairs sleep right now. I swear on both of my fucking kids. The worst ass whooping I ever got. I'm talking about get him off the floor. Everybody drive up and scrape this nigga off the floor, me, right? Put him in a car, drive his ass to the hospital, check him for concussions and all this type of shit, right? One of my closest people at the time, I said his name on this channel many times. One of my closest people at the time said, fuck that. Yo, you should sue them niggas. And I said, and I'm telling the truth. And I was just like, what? Nah. Want to know why? Because there was times where I got the ups on them, when I put hands on them too. When I was in the street throwing that shit around, screaming at niggas, busting U-turns, hopping out of cars on niggas and say, let's get it on State Street. You know what I'm saying? And I initiated that. Car full of niggas. We on the way to some chicks for real. We had Tanisha and Alice and who else was on the way to the crib? I'm saying names for real. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all. Port days. Meet us at the crib. Why are we busting U-turns? Because we just seen them niggas. So, and that day, ARP was looking like a king, right? Because I busted you and said, yo, we got work to do, right? That nigga ARP don't be playing and put hands on niggas. But it was my turn to take a L a couple weeks later. Got my ass whooped. The worst ass whooping in the whole back and forth, the whole beef between both sides. I took the worst ass whooping. Now imagine me going to the cops behind that. Because I took the worst loss. Go to the cops now? Sue them civilly now because I took the worst loss? That's pussy shit. That's rat shit. That's snitch shit. And I wasn't even no gangster. I was just a sturdy nigga with my boys. I wasn't no gangster at the time. I wasn't no street nigga. I was just me. I was just a man, a grown-ass fucking man. And it's just like, yo, I done put my hands on niggas. I'm involved in this back and forth, this beef. How the fuck do I now take this big-ass loss, get embarrassed, heal my face up for a week, pay these fucking medical bills, all of this shit, and now I want to call a lawyer or call a cop? You can't do it. Shot, am I lying about this situation? Drill, Ant, am I lying about this situation? L. Dot, am I lying about this situation? Y'all were all there. Y'all were all there. And when I got my ass whooped, Nate was there. Nate is in jail right now for murder. But everybody knows who Nate is. Like, y'all know, am I lying? You can't be involved and then go to authorities. That's a rat. That is a fucking rat. I said I wasn't going to get frustrated during this shit, didn't I? Never fails. Why am I screaming? I don't know. Why are you screaming, ARP? Calm the fuck down. It's the internet. It's a podcast. Take a sip of water. Calm the fuck down. He's screaming for what? Because you're talking to a whole bunch of dead ends. Some people get it, but I wonder what the percentage is. Like, if you ask me, what percentage do I think really interprets what I'm saying right now as 100% facts? Like, if you took 1,000 people that will actually walk like that, I really believe that the ones that move like that and think like that in real life had like been there, like really sat in the detective's box, being faced with authorities asking you, or really got his ass whooped and was just like, yo, should I call it? Really been in these situations and said, it's a sturdy move that I need to make. I need to accept the good and the bad. If I'm about to go sit up in jail now, I have to accept the good and the bad. I can't give you his name. I wish my interrogation footage would drop. My subscribers would go up. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? It's but the people that walk like that, like, we really are the minority. We really are. We really are the minority. So every once in a while we see these situations, people that y'all, not me, I don't have no idols other than my mother. I told y'all that, but some people look up to, and then you see something like this and it's just like, oh damn, you one of them too? I believed you. Nah, the house is too big. Oh shit, why he say that? That's allegedly too. That's a joke too. Yeah. All right, let's get off the lawsuit part, and I'll let y'all answer if this is some snitching or some rat shit. Y'all take it however you want. I'm not gonna disrespect Dame Dash up here as a man and say that to him, because once upon a time I really did have a certain amount of respect for him. So I still have enough lingering respect to not do the whole, yo, Dame, use it this or use it that. Y'all decide how y'all feel about this demand letter to Camron after him going back and forth with Camron and then just getting the short end of the stick and invoking legalities. Y'all decide how y'all feel about that. I know there's a bunch of different definitions on the internet. Y'all tell me in the comments and in the chat how y'all feel about it. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's go to Camron talking some recent shit.
Talking about when I did the concert with Jay-Z. I thought that was dope that niggas could squash their differences and do a concert. Dame turns it into a joke because Jay-Z still ain't picking up. Oh, y'all the bow tie twins. He made you dress up like him. He made you dress up like him. But before I did that, Dame is in this dark ass room apologizing to Jay-Z, Lior, Steve Stout. Matter of fact, Nick, let's go to the clip.
Minding my business. I have no beef with anybody. Pause. I'm looking past it. So Jay-Z, if I've offended you, I apologize. Lior Cohen, if I offended you, I apologize. Steve Stout, if I've offended you, I apologize. Just because you don't have the same morals and principles, it's cool. I'm not angry no more. I did what I had to do. And Biggs, I'm sorry, bro, if I offended you. Whatever you're doing, I'm with it. I love you, man. And I know you're mad at me, but whatever. I'm sorry. I can admit it. You know, when I make some money, I'll send you something. Just because you're my brother, I love your family.
Dame, I did that concert after you made, like 5 days after you made that apology. He was talking about, when I did the concert with Jay-Z. I thought that was dope that niggas could squash their differences and do a concert. Dame turns it into a joke because Jay-Z still ain't picking up. Oh, y'all the bow tie twins. He made you dress up like him. He made you dress up like him. But before I did that, Dame is in this dark ass room apologizing to Jay-Z.
What I brought up in the background, so you're hearing Jay-Z just made me ask a question. You got this big ass $300 million demand letter for Cam, $100 million one for Claudia Jordan and a bunch of other people. Where's Jay-Z's demand letter? You've been trying to convince us for years that he snatched the world from you. You know, he's took this artist from you. Allegedly, right? But Dame over the years has pretty much made us believe that he was fucked over by Jay, no? So I pulled up. They did have a back and forth related to some Rockefeller stuff. Said that there was a dispute that was settled in June of 2022. It says, I'm using ChatGPT, by the way, Dame, which is what you told me to use while you're on Breakfast Club. So don't get mad at me or sue me for reading this, okay? I took your advice from what you said on Breakfast Club. As part of the settlement, one key term was that Rockefeller owns all rights. So who's Rockefeller? Right? Owns all rights to reasonable doubt, including its copyright, and neither Dash nor others could sell, dispose of interest in the album via NFT or similar means unless authorized. You told me to use ChatGPT, Dame, so I just used it. The only way I can interpret that English language right there is that when you were attempting to sell Reasonable Doubt, there was a court settlement in 2022 that said you couldn't, which would mean that if this report is correct, you were selling something that, is that like a shady, shiesty move? Is that why the Drakes and the alleged NBA YoungBoys and all these people backed off from buying the album? Because maybe they got a little email, a little letter, or they did their own due diligence and saw Jay-Z's camp was saying, it's not going to go like that. It's not going to happen like legally. It's going to end up with me. Right. And you do some follow up and you figure out whether who's right, who's wrong. And Dame, I don't know. But if you ask me who to trust in a sale or an acquisition, Jay-Z or Dame, I'm not saying Jay-Z's a fucking angel. I'm going to do my homework on that motherfucker too. But especially while you were liquidating, you know, in the midst of you having financial issues. But this report says that you wasn't even supposed to be able to sell it. That's new for me. It's my first time seeing this. I'm just taking your advice of how to follow up and try to validate information. That's very intentional sarcasm. All right. But Game, this is the real reasons here why you want to sue Cam. Metaphorically speaking, not the specific video, of course, for anybody that's not keeping up. You lost the back and forth that you were having a great time embarking within, you and Cam.
Good job, man. Is that everyone?
No, Chief. There's one more, but he won't let us save him.
What? Why not? Because I'm a boss. Real bosses save themselves. Oh, Dame Dash. Okay, then. Save yourself, Mr. Dash. Hey, yo, didn't I just tell you I'm a boss? Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells me to tell them that I'm a boss. I tell myself to tell you I'm a boss. If I'm a boss, I tell myself when to tell you I'm a boss. So you don't tell me to tell you I'm a boss. You don't even tell me when you want to listen to me tell you that I'm a boss. I tell you when to listen to me tell you that I'm a boss. Now you can listen to me tell you I'm a boss. Oh, okay. Oh, you want to put out the fire, Dame Dash? That's fine. Okay, guys, let him put out the fire. Give him all the hose, guys. Pause. I'm from Harlem, B. We don't touch another man's hose. Okay, I'm going to bring in a chopper and drop some water on the building, okay? You mean like make it rain like I'm a fucking stripper? I'm from Harlem. We don't let nothing rain down on us. We don't even take showers. Hey, real talk? This whole building is about to go up in flames. Oh, please let us save you. Yo, I'm the one that decides who gets saved and who doesn't. This is my building. I put up the bread for it. I designed it. I baked the bricks. I started the fire. Wait, you started the fire? Oh, why, Dame Dash? Why?
Metaphorically speaking.
Like a boss. In the bleach container had a sign on it that said keep away from flames. Don't nobody tell me what to keep away from. You're from Harlem. Yeah, we know. We get it. All right.
He's not breathing.
CEO
Oh, well, then
t-shirt.
give me mouth to mouth. Quick.
You stupid.
Pause.
I can't breathe life into another man's mouth. I'm from Harlem.
Word. I fuck with you. Pause. Good job, man.
The ending to me makes so much sense. Somebody that is willing to literally die over bullshit philosophies. That's the summary. And die, metaphorically speaking. Let me not say literally. Metaphorically speaking, die meaning your business deals, your relationships, your opportunities, all types of shit. The type of personality it has. You almost paint a picture. I don't know if this is true, of course. I'm not in a man's bank account. Dame Dash, to me, seems, if nothing else, now more than ever, the guy whose moment really was alongside other people that had a lot of attention, a lot of talent, right? And sometimes it takes talent to see talent and to work alongside talent. So you can't take everything away from Dame. But that's why Jay-Z always said that. Make another hole, then, motherfucker. Instead of coming up to the Breakfast Club and introducing us to this girl that you're calling the lesbian white Aaliyah. Make another hove. Make half a hove. Make a quarter of a hove. Nigga, this, as good as Jay-Z was in the Rockefeller days, make a 10% hove. And we copping up. Give us a 10% hove. You know what I'm saying? And if we got to go do the Cam one, give us a 50% paid in full. Cam was arguably the best actor in that movie. Fuck, Dave. Damn, I'm trying. It's just coming to me, and I know, but sorry, it's true. Give us half of another paid in full. 50's about to try. Oh, shit. I'm insane. I'm sorry, Dame. I'm fucking sorry. But back to my point. You really look in many people's eyes. Fuck that. Let me try to project. In my eyes, you look like a guy who's had his heyday because of the people around you. And that's cool. Play your part. Be a part of the movement. Bring something to the table. And we will applaud you. We respect the career that you had. But after the Kanyes and the music artists and the Jay-Z's of the world weren't next to you, we never seen you come close to your heyday. We never seen you come close to it. And that's why it looks like you standing on your own with that type of personality is the reason why you could never really be out here doing that type of shit that you did once upon a time. You can never reach those levels. A lot of people, or some people that were around you from those days, record exec, the Leo Cohens of the world. I know you hate them, right? The Jay-Z's of the world, the Camrons of the world. Hell, even the Jim Joneses of the world, the Kanyes of the world. Damn, it's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that was around you in those days. Guess what? They've gone even higher in their careers since those days. Cross billionaire marks, own their own companies and shit. Cam's over here right now talking about, hey man, I'm just giving you a call, man, because we got $1 million for you. I don't know if Cam could have did that back in horse and carriage days. Dude. And you can't teach a guy like Dame nothing. You know, he don't own mirrors. Yeah, y'all know what I mean when I say that, right? Dame don't own mirrors, man. It's never going to be him. He's going to take that type of personality to the grave. You know? All right. 53 minutes in, man. I didn't mind really hanging on that topic for a second because it's layered. The ratting, the snitching, the protocols of involving yourself and then pulling stunts, the protocols. The Cam shit, the Dame shit, the history around all these people. There's layers to it. So hope y'all enjoyed that segment. All right. Let's move on. Let's go to David. Shit. Look, he's moving into our second topic slot. Jesus, kid. He is a kid to us, right? He's like 20 years old, respectfully. All right, let's start here. What do we got? TMZ reports that UMG, Interscope's parent company, Sony Music Publishing, and Wasserman have paused all promotional activities related to David out of respect for the seriousness of situation and ongoing investigation. Now, I'm going to give benefit of the doubt and say that all of us are sensitive to somebody that loses their life, somebody that pops up from being missing to being allegedly dismembered in the trunk of a Tesla. We are all sensitive to that. We all respect that, right? But how many times do we see situations where people stand by their guys or their artists? Here's one, Jay-Z, right? They asked the NFL right in front of all of our faces, hey, you see what's going on? These reports of this little minor with Jay-Z and allegedly Diddy. What's up with the NFL? And they said, right now, our relationship with Jay-Z remains intact. Yes, we are aware of what's going on, but we are pushing forward. We are watching the investigation. In the meantime, we're behind the scenes seeing who he wants to be the next halftime show performer. Right? Pretty much that's what they told us in our face. If I'm your parent company or your distribution company, and I say, hey, I'm stepping up for respect. Yes, I do believe that you have a sympathy bone to the life that was lost, but also you must also believe that this is mounting up not in his favor. It looks worse and worse and worse for this fucking kid. And if you're my label, I got to step away from you to a degree in times like this too, because your record label is just business. Business is business. You know, you get behind certain individuals at certain times in their career and you promote them. The sponsors, whether even Shannon Sharp, right? Your sponsors, your endorsements, your parent companies, getting dropped to be inevitable. Getting let go of ESPN be inevitable, all that type of stuff, right? But bare minimum, people be like, yo, pause, go on administrative leave, go sit down. No more games for you right now. Suspension, no records for you, no promotion for you. They know what's going on with this kid, and it looks bad. My judgment rate off of him or meter is probably at like a 70 at this point. And this is before trial, and y'all know I'll be trying to give a lot of benefit of doubt. He's at like a 70. Why ARP? All right, let's keep going through some of these pieces. Let's check this video out. Celeste Rivas, former teacher, tells students she met David on social media. So this is what him trying to warn his students about the dangers of the internet.
Her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was
this? We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year. May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media. That's her in my classroom in front of.
Spooky, man. Spooky. Let's continue. What else is some new internet investigation stuff that's coming out? What's this video? Video of David cleaning the missing girl's shoes have surfaced online. So they're showing her in some fours here. What's this? Let me cut the music. Because somebody could just be cleaning sneakers here. I ain't gonna OD on the guy. I want to see. They're putting the fours on the left. So let's see if he brings the fours out. I clean people's shoes as a side hustle, by the way. If that was the actual caption, why wouldn't you say they go to fours? Oh, that was the fours right there. They go to fours. The internet is some fucking detectives, be Jesus Christ. And if this was the real caption, it's doubled down because he says, I clean people's. If I put this caption up, it's gonna say my. Like, I don't clean nobody's sneakers. Like, I don't give a fuck my girl, my kids. Clean your own sneakers. But oh wow. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Internet detectives rampant with you, David. This next one, David's music video resurfaced of him allegedly Celeste. I'm gonna chill with some of the music. And we know that this bloody shirt turned into his merch. All right. All the hands and whatnot on the shirt. Look at the caption. The caption says, "No way. Hashtag David did a music video on how he did Celeste." Shaking my head. I'm going to say allegedly. Body in the trunk. What's this about? I don't know what that portion is with the girl. Is that supposed to be a representation of her, allegedly? Look at the reactor in the background. He's like, blind. That's probably symbolic. See, even to see the artistry of him now opens up a lot of eyes, because it's like, you're that type of person. You do your Kendrick and your Drake type of shit in your music videos and in your songs. And at the time of release, we might be thinking that, all right, there's some symbolism here, or there's some messaging here, but it could be way deeper, way deeper. All right, let's keep going. DA got all of this shit, all of it, all of it. Your lawyer is probably looking at this like, fuck. All right, how are we gonna explain this one? Oh, damn, there's another one. How are we gonna explain this one? Damn, another one. Cali voice every fucking day for this guy. David's hit song "Romantic Homicide" was released on September 7th, which was also the birthday of the 15-year-old girl who was found dead in his car. Am I too low when I say 70%? What? Verse 3. In the back of my mind, I killed you and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. I hurt you, or I hope, whatever. David, Romantic Homicide, 2.1 million views. I'm sorry, likes. 2022, September 7th. It was published. That's that Kendrick shit, man. That's that coded, the release, the video, the words, everything, the visuals. They have a deep meaning. Go decode it. That's going to be a question. Did you want us to know this sooner or later? Real talk. That really happens. That really happens. That's like what they say about some of those serial killers. You know, there's to a degree they want to get caught. Some of them even want the clout. You know, some of them even mock each other or follow behind each other. Like, damn, how could I do Jeffrey? You know what I'm saying? Like, idolize each other and shit. But I see people in the chat saying that David was dark, and I don't know his music, but I'm just listening to y'all, and I'm definitely getting that vibe. All right, let's do another one. IG hacker leaks Celeste and David's photos before her passing. All right. What's with the hidden type of pictures, right? Well, this one obviously right here on the left isn't, but some are. Cover your faces, cover your face, cover a face with the bag. This one right here, peep. Me, if I see her talk to dudes. Looks like David reposted. I'm going to say allegedly. It looks like a video or a picture of somebody like chopping meat. They're going to start to think that you on some American Psycho level shit, dude. What is this? Alleged text message or DM? Imagine we were two cannibals in the late 80s who randomly met and we fell in love and tried to be better and start a life together. Then you died and I ate your bones and all. And then this is a reply. What the fuck is wrong with you? Laughing emoji. Yeah, it's not time to laugh. If somebody really texts somebody this, ladies, fellas, somebody text y'all in the chat, somebody text you this shit, block. Imagine what? Like, who thinks like that? Imagine we were cannibals. I could just stop there. The first couple words, the first 5 words. Imagine we were cannibals. Imagine what? All right, hey, that's the last date that we gonna have. I hope you enjoyed the dinner. Hey, what's up? You want to do a movie night? Fuck you. Imagine we were cannibals. I'm sorry, my brain doesn't allow me to imagine that I'm a cannibal. You're gonna have some vegans in the chat. It's gonna be like, don't you eat chicken? Well, here you go. Chill out, people. You know what I mean. I'm talking about Jeffrey Dahmer type of shit, okay? Let me get ahead of that now. ARP stupid. What does he think a meat eater is? All right, stay on track. This is wild. Real talk though. Am I going too far by saying this dark nature that we're reading from him and him posting allegedly stuff like this and allegedly DMing a text and stuff like that? Would it be far-fetched for me to say, yo, I think there's a 10% chance he could be on that type time? It's in America's history. Like, we can't be shocked at some of this stuff, right? Maybe because he was selling records, it's going to be hard for a lot of people to believe, but who posts this? Who talks about cannibalism, allegedly? Who does that? All right. All right. Let's keep the exhibits going. It's a lot what you do. It's a fucking lot.
Question. What are you up to? You call me my work clothes, bro. You know, I just got the tie. I'm trying to clean up a little bit. You think what song you put on when you're in bed and feeling sick? Romantic Homicide. Is that
when you guys were in school, you guys learned about context clues, right?
this question?
Context clues. Absolutely, I did. Let's keep going. This is all from just yesterday, what I've seen, and there's probably 50 more that I didn't see. Wow. All right. David removes bloody shirt merch from website amid death investigation. All right. So that's the same shirt from that, or shirt type from the video we just saw. Obviously, he's taken pictures promoting it before, probably wore it during shows or videos. Here's a picture of it. It's like 20 of them bitches right behind him right there. You can see the singer was selling white button-down shirts splattered with fake blood for $35 on his official website until sometime in the last 48 hours when the apparel was removed. All right. The decision to pull the merch came around the same time his team axed the remaining leg of his U.S. tour, which consisted of 2 dates in California. I got the shirts on the floor. I'm not going to reach here, but I'm just saying, having the shirts on the floor on top of what looks like a plastic type of tarp, right? Are you on your dark imagery shit right there too? Because we know what the plastic would represent if this was his attempt, right? We know what the plastic represents, right? It's like, think about like the end of Departed with Mark Wahlberg. The plastic is always a cover up. The plastic is meant to enclose the DNA, the blood splatters, whatever. You roll that shit up and you allegedly get it up out of there. Bloody shirts on top of a plastic tarp. It really just looks like a rolled out fucking shower curtain. But that people literally use shower curtains for certain deeds. Just saying. Wow, man. Wow. They're going to convict you well before you get to trial in the court of public opinion. It's too much. It's too much, dude. All right, next one. They're like, damn, there's more? Yeah, there's more. It's like shit. All right, clip of David explaining lyrics to controversial song Romantic Homicides resurfaces amid news of missing 15-year-old Celeste Rivers Hernandez being found dead in his Tesla.
So what inspired the hook, In the Back of My Mind You Died, is kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I've seen people online take different meanings and interpretations from that one part of the song where it's like, it's their past selves that's dying. And they're not even crying about it because they're evolved or become better people or have killed addictions and other different stuff like that. So I think it's very powerful in that way too.
If I took his word for it, the only thing I would take away from that particular clip then is he has a very, very artistic mind. Very artistic, which is going to be combed over as all types of evidence. Yep. Keep it going. Keep it going. This clip of him crying while performing a particular song related, allegedly, on stage. David breaks down in tears performing I'll Love You from the Afterlife.
I'll love you from the afterlife.
Be careful with the music there. You see all the red in his face right there. Yeah. Either a very, very good performer or it does look very personal or emotional to you. The hearts, okay. Damn, like let's say hypothetically or allegedly he did do it. Damn, we're gonna want the motive. Like, was it an accident? Was it? Damn. You know what? What if it's very possible? Let me pause here for a second. What if it's very possible that he kind of was just using all of these things that he was doing online as his own therapy? You know? And then people like that, sometimes they get caught and it's just like a load off their chest. Like, this shit has been killing me, metaphorically speaking, no pun intended, this whole time, ever since what happened with me and this girl, allegedly. Right? Damn. I don't mean to make light of the situation at all, but when it comes to his music, this is what be happening. We just played him, his videos and his artistic expression that could have ties to this shit. Look at this shit.
Detective, I hate to break it to you. I ain't killing no one.
Struck my chin real slow and I'm lying. And I was laughing super hard as Darnell was dying.
The name of the album is I Killed Darnell Simmons.
It's a concept album.
A concept? That's a picture of you. A picture of you. And behind you is Darnell Simmons' body.
Coincidence.
You're going to wait a long time, you understand?
And that really is the fucking music industry for many of y'all, man. Y'all are sick. Y'all have rapped all of this shit and then try to tell us that none of that is real. None of that is true. You want us to believe us until the fucking authorities come. You want me to really believe that you're the realest rapper or singer. It's all authentic. But you want to tell me about all your drilling and all your deeds. And then they grab your album cover. It says, that's literally the body behind you. Wasn't me. You just pull a Shaggy, huh? Like, it's a concept album. Hey, man, it's all good. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm going to stay far from it. All right, we done with David. Let's move on to some Charlie Kirk related news. DL Hughley, come on up to the front for us, please. DL Hughley, very, very respected person on this channel, respected by me. Very honorable guy. I like that he stands up and he carries and delivers very powerful, very well articulated, strong messages for what's right and what's wrong. It doesn't even have to be as a black thing or a black speaker or a black voice. Just period, for right and wrong, or for what sometimes I align and agree with. Like, yeah, that's real. We need people with voices like this to speak up right now. I wish we had more people that could speak up during times like this, like a DL Hughley. So shout out to him.
DL, we thought of you exactly at this tough time for these issues. Thanks for joining me tonight.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Your reaction to ABC and Disney responding to the government pressure this way and pulling Jimmy Kimmel?
Well, I think it's disingenuous to pretend like comedy hasn't. I remember when Saturday Night Live used to always lampoon Gerald Ford, or when they talked about George Bush's mispronunciation of words, or they talked about Bill Clinton's sexual scandal. But I've never seen a president use the power of the presidency, the leverage of government. Like, say, for instance, somebody wanted a broadcast permit renewed, or somebody wanted a merger to go through, but then say, I don't like these people, and if you want that merger, or you want this license, or this could be a problem for you. There's a difference between an audience who culturally they could say, they could be a cultural kind of indictment of you, where people are calling your boss and trying to get you fired, which is a whole social thing. But the First Amendment doesn't protect you from that. It protects you from the government using the power and levers of power to leverage against you. So I think that people are conflating those two things. Like me getting mad at you saying I'm canceling you, and you are now canceled on the social media realm is a lot different than the man who's the most powerful man in the world using the levers of government to do the same thing.
Right, and you've spoken out, and you are among a group of comics who have used your speech at times to also comment on society, on who's in charge or who should be in charge. There's different types of comedy. So I'm wondering what you think the role is of the artist or the dissident now, because fact check true what you said. The First Amendment is first because it comes before the other things. How do we have debates or justice or democracy if we can't speak freely? And it says the government shall not abridge the free exercise and the free speech of the people. So how do you approach this now as a comic in this environment?
I think I did the same thing when I'd like to believe we do it the same way as we did when it was society doing the same thing, except this government. For the FCC chairman to talk about lies, the Trump cabinet is full of people who work for Fox, who had to pay almost $1 billion because they forwarded a lot. When they talk about you're maligning or joking about somebody, Laura Loomer, who serves at the pleasure of the president, made jokes of not too long ago about George Floyd being sober for 5 years. Mike Lee made a joke about the congressmen that got shot in Minneapolis. Donald Trump himself. Yeah, Donald Trump himself made jokes about Nancy Pelosi's husband. And so it's just, I've never heard anybody get fired for telling a George Floyd joke. And he had kids. So it's just all of that. And I've defended everybody's right. When a comic at the RNC told a joke about Puerto Rico being a floating pile of garbage. Nobody, so we can't have these standards just this week. And man, on a broadcast, talked about killing the homeless. And then a week later, 3 or 4 days later, you have the FCC stepping in and saying that this is offensive.
We are also hearing from other comics speaking out. DL, I want to play what David Letterman, himself a former late night host, said today.
This is misery. And in the world of somebody who's an authoritarian, maybe a dictatorship, sooner or later, everyone is going to be touched. They took care of Colbert. To be manipulated like that because the Ellison family didn't want to trouble Donald Trump with this move. My good friend Jimmy Kimmel, we all see where this is going, correct? It's managed media. It's ridiculous. And you can't go around firing somebody because you're fearful or trying to suck up to an authoritarian criminal administration in the Oval Office. That's just not how this works.
Letterman, quite clear there, your view of what's next and what lessons there may be, because Jimmy Kimmel had a big audience. We've covered tonight, spoke for mainstream America, but we know across the culture, with music artists, dissidents, many people have faced the brunt of this kind of government pressure in the United States before. What is the lessons learned?
Well, obviously, the lesson is the reason I think that we make such a conscious effort to obliterate history is not to learn the lessons before. But ultimately, every American has those famous two knobs that George Carlin talked about. One turns it off and one turns the channel. You have everything a la carte. You can listen to whatever you want. You can hear whatever you want. You can see whatever you want. And that is the power that all Americans have. You don't have to hear Kimmel. You don't have to hear Colbert. You don't even have to hear Trump. But to say that nobody should have the right to hear it and to use the government to facilitate that, people seem to forget that who's in charge now won't always be in charge. And some of the very people now who are cheering for this won't be when it's their time in the barrel. I've always been an advocate for free speech. I've defended so many people that offended me in so many ways. But ultimately, either you believe that the First Amendment is sacrosanct or you don't. And one of the things I find particularly offensive is one of the reasons that Donald Trump did so well with the younger demographic was because of these podcast bros. And one of their main gripes was they felt like they were being inhibited by the woke culture, and they thought it was the cancel culture. And to have them now be silent now means that cancel culture was horrible when it was the people, but it's great when it's the government. So either you got to decide that there are rights that we all deserve, or none of us do.
Very well put, and you've walked the walk, both on the comedy. I've always found you pretty funny. We've had lighter segments than this, sir. But on comedy, as a force.
Comedy isn't funny. The segment about comedy and what it means, it really is so. It's so surreal to live somewhere where literally every joke has a victim. Every single one, everyone.
Sure. And
now, depending on the sensitivity of the person who you're telling the joke about, there's also been something that's happened. I think two things that have happened that maybe people haven't. The role of the satirist is more important than ever. 60% of Americans get their news from satire, from social media, from comedians.
Sure.
And so now the other thing is that we have the last two of the three popular presidents, Obama and Trump, are both they're cultural. They're cultural icons.
Right.
You know, they have big,
and
so now it's a whole different place.
And we know that Trump understands TV and PR, and he obviously knew and felt that this was making a difference, making an impact. DL, again, thank you for joining me on a big night. We'll have more fun next time, I hope. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Thank you, man.
Yeah, it definitely looks like one of those targets. Not about freedom of speech. You don't align with what I'm representing and what I'm pushing and my views and what I'm preaching to my following and how I want to continue to rally the country in certain directions. And I attack you. You know, it would be country altering if this was a trend. You know, I mean, it's not like it's never happened before, but if it became like a trend, what's going on with this First Amendment of rights, people? Oh man. All right, I got some videos here. Might be upsetting to some, might be neutral to others, might stir up the chat a little bit. But let's go through some of these clips of Charlie Kirk. Remember, people, I am a person, self-admittedly, never knew anything about Charlie Kirk until his passing. That's when the news got ramped up of who he is. I started seeing all the videos, and I started doing my own watching of him and see who he is, why he's disliked, why he's liked, what he represents, what he doesn't represent. And these videos continue to be created now in the wake of his assassination. Let's see how we feel about some of this stuff. Trump on Charlie Kirk's old hate speech take. He might not be saying that now. So that's the Trump piece. But then after that, we're going to get into a bunch of clips that people are correlating to what some deem, not everybody, some deem hate speech.
But Charlie said, you know, that there was no such thing as hate speech. He obviously, you know, no one anticipated what happened to Charlie. But you have always been... But Charlie said, you know, that there was no such thing as hate speech. He obviously, you know, no one anticipated what happened to Charlie. But you have always been. Charlie's.
And I'll tell you one more thing that's on my mind tonight, and conservatives everywhere. The idea that people are saying, well, he was an extremist, or he was a racist, or he was a Nazi, or a misogynist, whatever. Charlie Kirk was a mainstream conservative Republican. He had views that are held by tens of millions of people, including more than half the country in the last election.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. It begs the question, when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. And in the spirit of affirmative action, we have Ramon and Cadillac are your two pilots. They've never flown before, but they are black. If I'm dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know you do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. The war on white people continues. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. We are raising...
And I'll tell you one more thing that's on my mind.
A generation of weak people like Simone Biles.
You know, without me getting into some of the details of these highly controversial statements, you guys know how big it is. I've seen the footage. I've seen the marching. I've seen even posts of him being shot. The pushing of that message of white people are under attack, right? Now imagine if black people did that. And I know there could be pockets where black people do that as well. But imagine a big voice, because Charlie Kirk, huge following. Just imagine a big voice saying black people were under attack and almost calling, I'm not saying calling of arms. Charlie Kirk didn't do that. Not that I've seen. But the people that rally to that, imagine just stirring a pot in this country and just trying to push a narrative that, hey, you white people are losing the country. You're losing it to black people. We're at war. Like, how destructive is that? Because not everybody is going to articulate themselves and just use their voice like Charlie Kirk. You're stirring up millions of people, and that's what some people start to equate it to hate speech, right? Because the impact of your words, not what you will do, but what the people that listen to you will do. And I hate that people always trying to make that separation. That's not what he said, but that's what he caused. There has to be some accountability and responsibility in continuing to push sentiments, points, angles, theories, philosophies, that rile a certain group of people up and make other people feel away. That's called division. That's called, all right, now we got Bloods and Crips clearly here. Let's all fight. You pull up on campuses and you talk, but your followers pull up to these same campuses and they fight. You get it? I don't see how people don't categorize it as hate speech directly or indirectly.
LeBron James is a self-interested, narcissistic, and we know he's not very smart.
You're representing your nation. You're selfish sociopath.
Not very bright, not wise, not somebody of good character.
She is a shame to the country. Blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today. Data shows they were actually better in the 1940s.
Let's get...
I gotta pause there for a second. This is a big problem with the Charlie Kirks of the world as well. You ever let me go on a bigger screen for a second. That one made me pause. I'm sorry. Data shows that blacks were doing better in the 1940s. Okay. Let's talk for a split second. You ever argue with those people and the only thing that they bank on is like the metrics or the numbers or the stats, right? But we all know it's 1000% wrong, right? You get it? It's just like, let's say McDonald's is allegedly is deadly. It's one of the worst foods ever. But the stats show that millions of people are buying McDonald's every fucking day. There's more people that eat McDonald's per day than eat wild caught salmon per day. So somebody that's gonna like pull what Charlie Kirk just pulled there, come with that data and say eating wild caught salmon, which as long as it has that low mercury count, is a pretty good food to eat if you're gonna eat it daily. I'm not saying eat it daily, but I'd rather that than McDonald's, who is already shown those French fries and that meat and those it'll sit in your body for weeks and months, and it's disgusting food. But there's billions of people that eat McDonald's on a daily basis. Anybody ever see that documentary Food Inc? Is it Food Inc? The cover got the cow. Hold on. Hell, I got two of them. I don't even remember how. I got two of them. Anybody ever see this documentary? Food Inc. The barcode on the cow. You watch that documentary. It has scared the shit out of you as far as how you eat. There's pieces of this documentary that break down how many major slaughterhouses there are in the country. Way less than you think. So if I'm in America and I eat a cheeseburger from McDonald's, how do I make sure that cheeseburger is the exact same, tastes the same if I order it from McDonald's in Russia? How do I do that? You have to have some type of control or governance in the major, they say, slaughterhouses around the world, right? And they say the steak that, I'm going to still say allegedly, that McDonald's has in those slaughterhouses and those areas and corners of the earth, boy, if you saw the numbers and the stats that are like presented here, it was like, okay, like you have that level of a franchise. So how do I make sure that the Whopper is the same in every corner of the earth? Right? Scary shit. They show you a lot about dairy. They show you a lot about how food is processed and made, a lot of nasty shit. Damn near would maybe turn you vegan. You may try to live off of water if you watch a diet like this. I mean, a documentary like this. It's spooky. I encourage everybody to please check this out if you get a chance. It'll make you change a couple things, or at least see certain things a certain way that could help us be a little bit more healthy. All right. The fact of the matter is, though, Charlie Kirk's methodologies and his philosophies of how you push the numbers. Okay. McDonald's, you're never going to make me believe that it's good for me, even if it sells more than almost any other food or any other franchise or any other company in the world. That's the big point that I'm just trying to make here. But he'll do that in his whole delivery, like data shows in the 1940s, well, what do you mean by that? Like what quantifiers are within that? Is it like what? Crimes committed by blacks? Is it health issues committed by blacks? Is it how many blacks had government assistance in the 1940s? Right? Like, what is it about the 1940s and what types of data that you would use to tell me that disgusting shit? Because the last thing I would want to do, if you gave me a chance to do it all over again, the last thing I would want to do is say, you know what? Put my lifespan in the 40s, 1940s. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I get to walk around with a good measure of equality in today's world. I know what's really out there, but shit, I could even be successful in today's world. I can surpass some of my white peers in today's world based on my own performance. That's today's world. I can't do that in the 1940s, which kind of coincides with people that walk around saying white people are under attack. What? Who said that? Joe said, black people say, we're losing. Then they said, well, white people, if y'all losing, then who the fuck is winning? It ain't us. You know, we're still fighting some of the same. We all should be fighting the same battles, to be honest, to be real, as humans. But staying on Charlie Kirk with those points of don't tell me about your fucking data. Tell me about the impact and how I got to live through these particular times. Saying that black people, by the data, were doing better in the 1940s is a disgusting comment. Disgusting. By the data.
Get loud for Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm also going to offer some context and some nuance about the death of George Floyd that no one dares to say out loud, which is that this guy was a scumbag. Remember what BLM stands for? Burn, loot, and murder. Now, does that mean it deserves to die?
BLM, Black Lives Matter, stands for burn, loot, and murder. Wow. I've seen a lot of people that were against Black Lives Matter because some people felt like that was a form of segregation or creating a vibe of inequality. Hey, we're focusing on black people too much instead of all of us. I've seen that. But to change the acronym of it, wow, like that. Okay.
Die? That's two totally different things. Of course not. Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact. There's no such thing as white.
Hey, Charlie, man. That's a fact for every culture, man. I could pull up a news report right now of a Mexican that prowled a white man that prowled a black man, an Asian that prowled a Mexican somewhere in the world today. So they're all facts. Like, you see what I'm saying? He speaks well, and he's very charismatic. And then you filter in the people's like almost human nature to want to be a part of something. And you birthed somebody that was able to get this type of following. It's scary stuff, man. Scary stuff.
Privilege or racism. So black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. Black people can go up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did. So what are you gonna do? Cancel me? Black people are allowed to say. I'm
a grown man. I got way
black people are allowed.
Really? Y'all want me to react to that? It's simple, man. Let's take it above the racial or the racism approach. Okay, let's take it above that. It's simply understanding at the deepest level. Okay, I could never understand at the deepest level what it is to be a woman. I'm a fucking man. All right, a woman could never fully understand what it's like to be a black man in America. Right? We want men to be a part of our sons' lives. For what reason? We want mothers to be a part of their daughters' lives. For what reason? Because you could teach this little girl how to be a grown woman better than I can as a man, and vice versa. It's not just a racial thing, right? So there are tons of white people out there that probably discuss Black culture issues in a respectful manner, in a helpful manner. And I'm the type of person where I would say that is 1000% welcomed. Come one, come all. If you can help me, I don't care about the color of your skin. But if you talk down on me, and then I could look at you and say, damn, you didn't even live through it though. You don't fully understand it though. It's like how I feel when somebody tells me hip hop music is garbage, right? I don't think anybody on this channel believes that. Hip hop music, Charlie Kirk does that, right? Hip hop music in general should be banned. It's garbage. Now, I can pull up some verses and some songs and some creativity and some intricacy and some jewels and some life-changing experiences that I've gotten from hip hop. Hip hop has been a teacher to many of us. People that came before us teaching us about what goes on in certain areas of the world and certain households. It could be a teacher. Is there destructive lyrics in hip hop? Duh. No different than me going and sitting down and watching fucking Terminator and see Arnold Schwarzenegger, Yao Maya shoot 1 million fucking people, right? I could find destructive imagery or words in movies, all music damn near. I could find something that I probably wouldn't want my 4-year-old fucking daughter or son to hear or see, right? But the targeting of hip hop, you can't convince me that that's not a personal thing, because logically it wouldn't make sense. I rarely see people target hip hop the way that he does here, target Hollywood the same way. I don't see it. I don't see the same Charlie Kirks of the world go drag Quentin Tarantino or Mel Gibson or Tom Hanks or some of these directors. I don't see it. I don't see it. All right. Or who made San Andreas whatchamacallit, Grand Theft Auto? Who's behind one of the biggest video game franchises ever? You know how many people act out that shit? You know how many kids want to go act out some of that Grand Theft Auto shit in their regular world and regular lives? They're influenced by it online in these Minecraft games and places, seeing all this wicked, weird stuff. Are you kidding? The Call of Duties, these kids are learning how to load machine. They know more about military level guns and weaponry than I do from the Call of Duty games and whatnot. Attack video game, every form of entertainment can impact a child. Video games, shit. I wonder if I could put video games at the top over movies and music. I wonder if I can. Maybe I should go pull the data. The fuck? You can't be serious.
Skin color, a generation of weak people like Simone Biles. LeBron James is a self-interested, narcissistic, and we know he's not very smart. You're representing your nation. You're selfish sociopath. Now gets their own summertime celebration. Oh, wow, look how far blacks have come. It has now become a racial complaining day. Thomas Sowell and Justice Clarence Thomas are far better black role models to celebrate than Martin Luther King. This guy is not worthy of a national holiday.
There's a mythology around MLK that does not warrant the reverence that he gets treated with in America.
We have a federal holiday to a guy that talked about race all the time. Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. We celebrate the Civil Rights Act more than the American founding.
Martin Luther King's a bad guy, y'all. News to me. They didn't teach me that when I was young. He's teaching me that now, though. I appreciate it, Charlie. Thank you for the updates.
The country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. The Democrats are not lifting
made a mistake when they passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true.
A finger to remember the well over 100 people that have died in Texas Hill Country. The death toll likely would not have been as high if it wasn't for DEI.
Ketanji Brown Jackson is what your country looks like on critical race theory.
You're going to remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian.
Ketanji Brown Jackson is an embodiment of
now gets their own
the tyranny that we currently live on. She's an ideological, unintelligent,
yet confident fanatic. Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right?
So she wants to be the first ever black woman on the Supreme Court, yet she won't even admit that she's a woman.
The transgender movement is an introductory phase. These doctors need to be put in prison to get you to strip yourself of your humanity. A Nuremberg-style trial to mesh with machines. Interestingly, I think there is an argument to bring back the MRS degree.
Reject feminism.
Young women need to get married at a younger age and start having kids. Like, don't like, oh, I'm studying sociology. No, you're not. We know why you're here.
Submit to your husband, Taylor. You're not in charge.
You will find a husband if you have the intent to find a husband.
You got to change your name. If not, you don't really mean it.
Democrat women want to die alone without children.
A lot of them are on birth control too, and birth control like really screws up female brains, by the way.
That's really rich. I didn't know the tyranny that we currently women not to complain 50 years ago. That's funny. We should tell them to stop freezing their eggs and start finding their partner earlier and have lots of babies.
Every single one of you need to make sure that your loved ones are not on birth control.
So materially insane to think that 1 in 5 American women will be raped in their life.
It is. I agree.
No, meaning that they're lying about being raped.
You're comparing abortion to the Holocaust.
Absolutely, I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse. Because Jewish donors have been the #1 funding mechanism of radical, open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies. And by the way, this is my other problem with death penalty. It takes too long, too many appeals. It should be public. It should be quick. It should be televised. At what age should you start to see public execution?
16. I think you could do it earlier. I think you maybe at age 12.
I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better. A lot. I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled, Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America.
The Democrat Party women not to complain 50 years ago. That's funny. Party believes everything that God hates.
Like, we're dealing with maggots, vermin, and swine here. These are not good people. They're not even a little bit good. In fact, I know people that went to Haiti passively as like agnostic atheists, and they came back searching for Jesus because they saw like legit demonic activity. Kamala Harris wants to see the elimination of the United States of America.
Democrat Party supports everything that God hates. There's not much you can do, folks. You have a government that hates you. You have a traitor as a president. Buy weapons. I keep on saying that.
As top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. If some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. Native-born Americans, you better buy weapons, everybody. Have a lot of guns at your disposal. I would never leave your home without a weapon. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect.
Party believes everything that
our other God-given rights.
We actually need looser gun laws because I think that
Oh yeah, they said we have more guns at the Turning Point HQ than you can imagine. Yeah, if anyone ever tries to come, that will not end well. Oh no! Imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson.
I am channeling the emotions of millions of conservatives who are angry. They knew Charlie. They loved Charlie. They viewed Charlie as a mainstream conservative Republican.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to pause comment, people. I don't think that was easy for a lot of people to watch. I really don't.
At 2 a.m. and the stand. George Zimmerman was hunted at night by Trayvon Martin at 2 a.m. and the stand your ground law allows you to stand your ground up against people that wish you harm. The facts around the George Zimmerman case, I'll admit, are a little bit rusty. It's been 10 years since that case. What I remember is this. It was highly scrutinized.
Right.
The jury was bipartisan. He was fully acquitted. And when all the facts came out, it was legitimate self-defense.
Fuck the Kirk boy. Fuck him.
Really don't care about Charleston White, but to say George Zimmerman was hunted by Trayvon Martin in the night in question. Trayvon Martin hunted him. And that's how we ended up in a self-defense situation. Because he hunted him. I'm just trying not to get canceled, people. Can y'all tell? Can y'all tell? Man who falsely claimed to be Charlie Kirk's killer has been charged with possession of child P after false claim led to FBI checking his phone. So they got your stupid ass for one thing or another, huh? Sounds like a nasty guy if that's true. This was him. Remember this guy?
How dare you!
We don't know if it's him or not.
I say screaming, shoot me and everything. Like, what are you there for then? A decoy or like what are you there for? Has been charged with possession. False claim led FBI to checking his phone. Falsely claimed to be. He claimed that he was the shooter. Like, what were you up to? What were you trying to do? I don't know. Last but not least, I'm gonna close it here. I thought this was extremely ironic. Look at this. October 14, 1993, Charlie Kirk's date of birth, October 14, 1973. George Floyd's date of birth. How fucking ironic is that, people? I'll close it out like this. If y'all remember when I first started covering Charlie Kirk, I tweeted after seeing the video online of when he got shot in the neck. I just saw that video on Twitter. I was just like, oh, and I can tell it was something political based on, him, the speaking engagement and some of the things he was saying. I can tell. And I tweeted, that Charlie Kirk video is sad. In a perfect world, we don't kill each other over our differences. And like the first 4 or 5 replies to that tweet was showing no sympathy to him. People were just like, F him. But I was just like, what? I'm looking at my Twitter responses to that too. I'm like, what the hell? Who? What the? So I took the tweet down and I said, ARP, go do your homework. You may have jumped ahead of yourself as far as, because you don't know what support you're indirectly or directly put. Let me see what I just tweeted. And I started watching videos of him. I was like, oh, yeah, he's going to have a lot of people that don't like him, but he's also going to have a lot of people that love him. You just got to pick what type of person you are. Unfortunately, in this country, I like to stay neutral. I like these things and I dislike those things. That's how I like to live. I don't want to pick a side. I don't want to be a Republican. I don't want to be forced to feel like I got to be a Democrat. I don't want to be forced to feel like I got to be a conservative or a liberal. I want to put together whatever I feel is good for me and my family and my people, or the world that I live in, or the country that I live in. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be forced to take your bullshit with some of the stuff I agree with because I got to align with this gang. No. But videos like those that we just watched, don't get canceled, ARP. Just move along. Let's go to battle rap, man. That shit took some of the energy out of me. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, Coffe Brown has this drop on OTFMZ, and shout out to Coffe once again. You know what I mean? I just saw this and I was just like, oh, we spoke about it once or twice. Let's bring this back up, because I said unless somebody drops something like that, we leaving it alone. And would that be the case here? Damn, I really wanted to be done with this, but I really hate liars. This is from Coffe. I'm sorry, this is from Official. It says he ain't the daddy though. At AFM, Piperboy, Polo, Chris Unbiased, and Ace is working. And allegedly, this is a picture of the guy that was brought up on Coffee's phone call, as well as allegedly the same person from the Coffe Brown story that was posted holding allegedly their newborn. And it's what's saying 7 pounds, 2 ounces, baby bean is here. Because me and Coffe is cool, I don't even want to tell y'all what I told her the other day in DM. And And I don't want people to misconstrue that. Like, Coffe didn't DM me about my video the other day, right? She DM'd me because Easy to Block was on his stream, and he must have said something like, you know, Coffe, one of your ways out of this is to give some type of proof to ARP, somebody that maybe is credible enough to know that he will validate it and speak on it on a platform that people pay attention to in battle rap. But also you could trust him to not put it out publicly because it might be information like, let's say, hypothetically, an obituary that you don't want to put out. I'm pretty sure that's kind of like what Easy said, because that's what Coffe said to me, which is like, yo, so what do you think? Boom, 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 boom. And I gave an answer, and the rest of that I'm leaving private. But when I see this, it's like, and Coffe and Official just hopefully could just walk away. I just walk away from all of this, man. The internet's going to be internet. Battle rap is going to be battle rap. Whatever's going to come up on both sides in these battles going forward, it's going to be what it's going to be. But once again, me and Coffe is cool, so I ain't going to do too much here. All right, next up, and battle rap news. I see this. I see Hitman was on with Whack 100 talking about the Mook battle. DNA 2 posted a clip here that says Whack 100 and Hitman Holla violates Murda Mook, and Hitman speaks on why he exposed Murda Mook's DV charges and says Mook tried to convince people my BM ain't get shot. Nobody felt sorry for me. Mook called Nelly trying to get dirt on me. You did his BM and his daughter a favor because they probably was scared. Ooh. Let me see.
He put hands on the baby mama and the daughter.
So this what I just wanted to say on to everybody. Like, this gonna be the last time I really speak on this because it was entertainment for the battles, whatever. They gonna say whatever they want. But what people fail to realize is people talking about my fiance getting shot all day, every day. Like before I battled Mook, you know, he was at a watch party debating with people for an hour after the battle, before me and him was even locked in, trying to convince people that my girl really didn't get shot. People rapped about it. It's all love. It's all good. I take it on the chin. So I just want people to keep that in mind when things like this come across my desk and want me to feel sorry for it. No, nobody feels sorry for me. I don't just do that and just look for people to destroy people, but you know, Murda Mook, you know, he called around Nelly, Murphy Lee, they called me. He was reaching out, trying to get dirt. You know what I'm saying? He tried to reach out to Bags and Bodies, my other owner, to get dirt. Like, he was doing what he's supposed to do. So when I come across information like this, I only got to protect myself. If he want to try to come and do, even though I ain't worried about nothing out there on me, but I see how low he willing to go, it's like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? Let's
first of all, I don't think you went low. I got to say, the truth can never be considered disrespect. I'm gonna be real. I think you did his baby mother and his daughter a favor because they probably were scared to tell people. And now that people know, he might think twice about what he's doing.
So that's the end, huh? All right, let me give a little quick intro first, and then I'll get a little bit more into this topic. I'll give y'all more than I did for the Coffe one. One thing I'm very, very aware of, I'm very, very aware of the difference of how people look at like me and how I speak or address things versus how they look at, like, let's say Holla and also a million other my friends. You know, like, I'm different than all my people. We have similarities in what's important, you know, certain values that's important. Other than that, I got one friend that wants to go this way and one friend that wants to go that way. Shit, we just in Vegas at the fight. Me and Ant arguing because the let out is over 70,000, 80,000 people. He wants to sit on the floor in the arena for 2 hours to let the whole thing clear. I'm like, let's get up in this fucking mob and start moving because it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. We argue about shit like that. Everybody different. That's called being your own person, being a man, being an individual. And I know when I speak on things that come off that as if, or even if I'm directly in, like, let's say Holla's favor, I know I'm always going to see some of the comments and some of the responses of, here goes ARP trying to save Hitman again, right? I've said multiple times, divide and conquer is for the weak. divide and conquer isn't only in the form. There's a jewel for you men and women out there. Divide and conquer doesn't just come in the form of like individualism, where it's just like, I see Hitman and his brother Show Out, and here I come and I say, yo, psst, yo, Show Out, you know, Hitman's not a good person, right? And I try to get him on my side. That's not the only form that divide and conquer comes in. The divide and conquer also comes in a form of, like, let's say you getting backlash on your own, right? And people will create an energy or a vibe to keep me away from it, hypothetically, right? And I say, you're right. Let him know. It's like, when it's your folks, it's your folks. And I got a whole nother addition to this that's going to even kill that piece for just genuine people. But your folks is your folks. There's never, divide and conquer is truly for the weak. All right. And I'm like that with all my folks. You know, it's like, I seen Holla do that for me too. You know, I seen Holla hop into space. The moment them hating ass league owners was talking about RBE is not a legacy league in an interview, first thing Holla did was jump into space and start barking. Who the fuck y'all niggas talk about RBE this, RBE that? He stood up for me. All right. I didn't even address it at that point. I was like, these clowns. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Rosenberg Raw front line for me. I've seen Show Up will fuck around and call your phone behind me. You know what I'm saying? And I do the same. Ask Show Off how many times I've been there for him when he won his life back in court. Who was there? Who drove him to court? Me. Divide and conquer is for the weak. If you stand a certain way, right? And people have their opinions on me and Mook, but now here's the other layer. Here's the important part to me. Has anybody called Holla a liar yet? I'll wait. Other than Mook, you know, in the midst of just like his 15 minutes of fame interview and in the battle on stage when he kind of had to say those things, which is, he was lying. Mook was lying. But has anybody called Holla a liar, like in general? Bloggers, battlers talking about it, fans. Has anybody called him a liar? I get it. You feel like you lost the battle, Holla, or you're trying to clean this up, or you're trying to justify this or trying to justify that. But is he lying about the shit that he said? Nobody's called him a liar yet. You know the problem with Hitman, with fans and other battlers or whatever? It's simply his personality and his delivery, right? Like, I could take the same message, the exact same message. Who's going to win Sundays? No, that's something. Holla ain't that level. Like, it's something complex, like an argument or a debate. Is Charlie Kirk a good person? And give me 10 reasons why he is or 10 reasons why he's not. The way that I would deliver that debate versus how Holla delivers that debate is with different personalities, different delivery, different octave, different word selection, different passion levels that we express at certain times. Sometimes we even have a difference of, I could say this about all my people, but I'm just using Holla in this aspect. Even how we shield our levels of passion. There's times where I be pissed, but you can't tell. Holla don't do that. And he's developed like a hate-love relationship with a lot of people because of his delivery, right? But I double back to the question, though. Has anybody called him a fucking liar, though? Like, would Murda Mook do an interview right now saying, Hitman, Holla, you are lying on me? And I'm not even talking about the R stuff, right? Because I don't know if people want to invest time and real proof to that unless like that girl came out. You know what I'm saying? But all those, like a year of paperwork, right? Would people say that Holla's lying about that stuff? Like the stuff involving Mook's daughter, involving his girl, involving the sexual harassment case from the building girl, whatever. Would people say that he's lying? Would Mook call him a liar? Right? And here's another thing. People say police reports. Are there police reports? Did he go to court? Did he ever get arrested? Was any of this ever tied to the World Star video when he got arrested? Like, is Hitman lying is my question. That's all. That's all I want to raise. Interviews for Holla right now, though, they're not going to help the battle. You know, say as far as people already have their mind made up about how they feel about the battle, and that's fine. Me personally, I feel like I watched what Geechee and Jazz said on their podcast. I think it dropped like yesterday, the day before. I watched it yesterday. I think Geechee had a very, very honorable take, like the most honorable take I've seen so far. Geechee was like the only nigga that had the fucking nuts to say it don't matter who you are. I don't care if it's Hitman. I don't care if it's Loaded Lux. I don't care if it's Murda Mook. I don't care if it's ARP. I don't care if it's New Jersey Twerk. I don't care if it's Rum Nitty. I don't care how beloved the person is or how much you like the person or hate the person. If that's on your jacket, Houston, we have a problem. Oh, and that's a bar on accident because they just performed it in Houston. But Houston, we have a problem if that's on your jacket. That's what Geechee said. It don't matter. He said, because at what point do we stop somebody got to take control of this shit. Geechee was spot the fuck. I said, finally, somebody with the balls to fucking say that there needs to be an if factor. And it's not just about Murda Mook. It's period. It's period. If I stand close to you, I want to know. Like I didn't stand close to certain people anymore after certain things happened, right? Or I wanted to know certain things. I went and did my homework, right? I didn't just focus on how good the rapping was. I went and did my homework. Went and did my fucking homework. I remember Shatta walks up to Adi Boom after the battle, and this is when Adi Boom is our little brother. He says, yo, man, you know, my nigga, yo, great battle, you did your thing. But I'm gonna get back to this hotel room. I'm gonna read this paperwork. Shatta told Boom to his face. So I'm gonna read this paperwork, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's where Hitman is a victim of his own character and personality. You know what I'm saying? Where you know, beloved people, people that are in the middle, or sometimes people that are unliked, will change the reaction to sometimes alleged real things being presented. But I want to see people coming out and saying, you are a fucking liar, Hitman. That's what I want to see. I want to see if that happens. If not, you know, we could just lead a battle to battle. All right. Let's move on. Now I'm not trying to play no chessboard or nothing, but there's a lot of stuff out there that I don't think people know about. But anyway, Roger Jackson, this is quick. Just to share the footage of his arrest when they took him into custody. And so it begins for that young man. So we'll see reports and everything that starts to come out, because he's gonna face he's gonna go to trial, right? Isn't it? Right? This is gonna be for assault, if not other charges as well. Does he have any public records or paperwork that's out yet? Checks and balances, we got to check on that. But his fight now begins. All right, legally speaking, and we knew it was on the way regardless. Last but not least, I just thought that this was a funny video to watch. Not in a laughing sense, but look at King Von and how this police officer is trying his damnedest to provoke him, to get him to talk, to get him off of his square, to try to get him to incriminate himself or even make a physical move. That this police officer is really trying his damnedest, and this is what it looks like to really stay sturdy under a time where it's just like, damn, here I am confronted by these fucking authorities. I might be going to jail tonight. On the street level, he's gonna go down as like one of the top guys of all time, right? I don't live by his codes or his morals, and I'm not into, you know, that type of lifestyle. But for street shit though, yeah.
You gonna talk, man? You gonna tell me what's going on over there, or what? You gonna act stupid? I can take you in for accessory. You know that. You gonna say something? Speak. Gonna kick out your tongue or what? Hey, it's accessory. He's being irresponsible.
keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep asking that question.
You know, I could take you in for being an accessory.
Look at your watch like you got.
Yeah. It's not working, man.
Be funny with it.
It ain't funny. Are you high, man? Let me see your eyes. You're under your influence. I don't know why you keep looking over there. I'm over here. You gonna talk, man? You gonna tell me what's going on over there, or what? You gonna act stupid?
He is really fucking with him. I think he's under the influence, trying everything to get him going. Wow. But it is what it is. Rest in peace, King Von. Rest in peace, everybody losing their lives and all that stuff that's going on, man. All it does is put people in jail and take people's lives, but it is what it is. But all right. We done there. We just crossed 2 hours. I told you I got some music for y'all, right? Since it's Saturday. Indirectly did some DVDs with y'all already, right? So we'll leave that there. Music. Let's see if anybody gets mad at me. Oh. All right. What do we got here? Got my stack. I got a little stack that I brought up here today. So today's music take is albums that I believe have a certain looked at from an artist, album or record that everybody says is the best one. And I may have a difference of opinion that is very, very unpopular. Okay. So I'm going to start out easy right now. I'm start out with one that I think a lot of people is going to be cool with. Nobody's going to get mad at me for this one. So you got the Illmatic, right? Cool. But to me, clearly a better album than Illmatic, even though it was changing of the guard. It was ahead of its time. There was this young guy coming out, and oh, who is this kid? Illmatic is an all-time, but it's not better than his second album. It was written. It's not. It's not. Why, ARP? Nas, he grew as an artist. The lyricism was obviously there from when we first met him in Illmatic. But he grew as an artist and kept all his lyricism. Songs like I Gave You Power and Shootouts, and his storytelling ability was just like, wait a minute. You know, his hit making ability, like If I Ruled the World is on here, right? Yes. Imagine that. Yeah. So he had hit making ability now. He had storytelling ability now. His lyrical ability remained. He grew as an overall artist, and the production was there. This is his best album to me. It was written. All right. Now let's try another one that I don't think people get mad at me at. When we say, what are Jay-Z's best albums? Top 3 or top 4, right? For the first 3 or 4, I think some people or many people go, you know, they put this in there, right? Commercially speaking, absolutely you would. Like, this was like maybe his most successful album. This one had H to Dizzle on it, didn't it? Or Hard Knock Life. Yeah. It's the Hard Knock Life. But that was a huge song. Coming of Age is on here. Can I Get a Huge? Big Pimpin' is on here, right? Isn't Big Pimpin' on here? Big Pimpin', why don't I see Big Pimpin'? But either way, Reservoir Dogs is on here. Jesus. Oh my God. Some people go here. Some people go here. No, you imaginary play ass. You know what I mean? It's the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6. A lot of people go here. Reasonable doubt. Even Jay-Z says, damn, that might be my baby right there. You know, it's the first. You know, because so much went into getting to this point of getting his first album done. So I think Jay-Z calls this either 1 or like 1A and 1B type of shit. Me, his best album is Blueprint. Almost like a Nas type of thing. You're going to see that theme remain here as well, where you master all levels of the the art at this point, though. Like the lyrical ability, the hit making ability, the storytelling ability, the difference of the different flow. This is no Izzo's on this one. This one got girls, girls, girls. Song Cries on here. Renegade is on here. Takeover is on here. The Ruler's Back is on here. Jesus. Heart of the City is on here. If you ask me what's Jay's best album, I'll go Blueprint. All right. I know that's close, which is why I don't think anybody's going to scream at me yet. Okay. Now, this is when y'all start to get pissed off at me. Is this Lil' Kim's best album? The infamous, her first drop, Hardcore. Is this Lil' Kim's best album? Classic. The introduction to who is this girl? To expressing all this sexuality and changing the game. And who the sexy ass Kim is this when she was really, before she did all that stuff to herself. This is her best album, right? No. This is Lil' Kim's best album to me. Years later, this is the Notorious Kim. Lil Drummer Boy is on here. Well, Goody Mob and CeeLo and Redman. That's when she's kind of like in her Sticky Fingers bag. You know, the storytelling shit. Custom Made is on here. Who's Number One? Suck My Dick is on here. Was she one of the first rappers to really, on some New York shit, talk to men the way that men talk to men? Hey, yo, come here. Yo, nigga, fuck you. I mean, fuck you, bitch. Who you talking to? If I was I tell y'all this, my Single Black Female, Revolution. Diddy's on this album a bunch of times too. Notorious Kim is crazy. My favorite track on here, though, is Do What You Like. Do What You Like just goes ridiculous. It's got the whole Junior Mafia on there, like people like Lil C's. But the way she comes on this song and closes out that track, I think overall, as an artist, this is Lil' Kim's best album, The Notorious K.I.M. All right, get mad at me. If y'all was mad at me about that one, you're going to be mad at me about this one, too. What's Ghostface's favorite album? What's his top 3 albums? All right. In the 1 or the 2 spot, you guys are probably going to put this, right? Iron Man. I hear you. I mean, you got Daytona on here, right? You got Winter Wars on here, right? Isn't Winter Wars on here? Is it Winter Wars? Motherless Child is on here. Jesus Christ. Come on, man. It's in a lot of people's top spot for Ghost. If it ain't that ARP for the number 1 spot, it's got to be Supreme Clientele, right? No. 1 is on here. Apollo Kids is on here. Nutmeg is on here. Yeah, this is an absolute hip hop classic. But Ghostface's best album is Wizard of Poetry. Is he sick in the head, ARP? No, I'm not. Why do I say that? Definitely similar to It Was Written with Nas. But I'll compound that. When it comes to Ghost, I think Ghost's main suit, definitely his wordplay and his vernacular. You know, he's like Head Ice. Like, he says a bunch of shit that nobody else would ever say. The strawberry kiwi daiquiri be in the... Like, what? It sounds crazy, though. It makes sense somehow to us. So his linguistics, his slang, his talk, his pen. He's a writer. All of that is dope. But I think Ghostface's strongest suit is his storytelling ability. Like, this song, I mean, this album right here, it puts him, the whole album is just stories. Like the track about, what it was, Fab, he comes home and Fab is with his girl and Fab jumps out the window and all that shit and they sparking at each other. The whole album is like that. The story of him bumping into the pregnant girl on the street, he's like, damn, in another life, this is my queen, this is the perfect woman for me. This is the meshing of his best attribute, storytelling, along with everything else, and the production on this album meets every track perfectly. Dare I say that even though these are classics, I could find a skippable track or 2 on these, right? I don't remember if there's a skippable track on Wizard of Poetry. You know, I think this is his best work overall as a complete body of work and album. It is Wizard of Poetry to me. Okay. Now, the last one, nobody's going to get mad at me for because I really don't have an answer my damn self. What's Eminem's best album? So I wasn't able to do it with him. But top 3, I'm gonna go in the 3rd spot. I'm gonna go with the Eminem show. I know Superman is on here, right? I can't be your Superman. Can't be your Superman. Does this have whatchamacallit on here? The Mosh shit. When music stops, Superman is on here once again. Without Me is on here. I don't remember some of these names. White America is on here. Till I Collapse. I think this might be his 3rd best album. It might be. All right. I just can't choose though for the 1st spot. I can't do it. I can't do it. His first album is so unique. Him as an artist, him as a rapper. He really was game changing. Like, who the fuck is this guy that's rapping this shit that we never talk about? Like, people don't talk about disrespecting their mothers, like, and doing drugs. It's all this self omission to doing shit that people wouldn't want tagged on their jacket. He's like, I do that shit. I catch STDs and I might do gay shit or whatever. Wild ass kid, but the lyricism and the song making ability, and of course you got coming on deck with people like Dr. Dre. The overall song making quality of this album, while he's able to maintain at times areas of seriousness, like Rock Bottom is probably got like levels and layers of seriousness, but he's still so comedic and clever on this shit. Bad Meets Evil is on here. As the World Turns. I don't know how the world keeps turning round and round, but I wish I could stop and let me up right now. But you get here. It's like Stan will carry a whole album on its own. Stan. Like, it's one of the greatest storytelling songs. I can argue Stan is number 1, number 2, or number 3 in any debate as a storytelling hip hop song. Definitely can carry an album. Who Knew? The Way I Am is on here. I sit back with this pack, this bag, and this weed. If you need the shit, need to be the evil to see on this earth. This is birth. I curse with this curse. It's just curse. It's just spurt. It's berserk. It's bizarre shit that works and it sells and it helps and it's what? Oh my! 2 songs that can carry a whole album by themselves. Remember Me is on here with Sticky Fingers. Don't you remember me? Remember me? Was that the sick dreams of picnic schemes to kids 16 with M16s and them shits reach to 6 kids each, and Bill Clinton's speech get shady to fix these streets? Fuck that. Remember that? What? Damn, he's such a great fucking rapper, man. Yeah, I think that's Marshall Mathers. Kim is on there again. Under the Influence featuring D12. You want to know one of my favorite verses is? It's not on one of his solo. I think it's on the D12 album, Fight Music, right? If I could and bottle it with my bare hands, swallow it and spit it back in the faces of you racists and hypocrites who think the same shit but don't say shit. You Liberace's, Versace's, and you Nazis thinking you got me in this hot seat. But what? You never stop me. I'm top speed if you pop me. I came to save this generation of babies from parents who failed to raise them because they lazy. That's how I got this whole nation to embrace me. That nigga's sick in every way, in every fucking way. But yeah, I can't do it with M. But y'all might be mad at me in the chat or later on in the comments when it comes to my ghost. My ghost selection and my Little Kim selection. I expect some tweets or something. People like ARP, kick rocks, fuck you and your podcast. I expect that for those 2. It's all good. All right, let's come over to the super chats and the outro. We got Jay here at, what time was this? 7:46 time. I think we started at 8 a.m., right? And we're about 2 hours and 20 minutes in. Good stream, good time today. I expected it because we went over a bunch. But 2025, get rich or litigate trying. Lawsuits are the new come up 100%. This move reads more like a financial play than a reputation fix. His debt is massive. Yeah, and allegedly, I think that's also why these letters from Dame are signed the Dash Group, sincerely Dame Dash, and not from a law firm, because you didn't hire a lawyer to go do this for you. Typically, you would to serve somebody a cease and desist or whatever. But it is what it is, man. Dame is Dame right now. He's lost a lot of respect over this last run of him being in the media cycle. Nikita's at the building, says hit that like and that share the stream, join the green team. Please listen to her once again. Thank you, Nikita. She reminds y'all of that daily. You know, one of our devout members. I appreciate you, love. You know, if I don't get to tell you enough, I'm telling you now. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all y'all, but Nikita be very, very active. So thank you. And she shoots out a gift at 8:33. I hope somebody caught that. Thank you, Nikita. And then she comes back and says, Cam act like Rico in real life sometimes. And Dame, a scorned uncle who feel like his nephew backstabbed him. Ask me why they both old for whole shit. Yeah, they're both too old for this. One is using it for their benefit, though, and the other one's ego chasing. All right, Cam is using it for his benefit. Cam, I told y'all early in our coverage of their back and forth, I said, Cam don't fuck with Dame, or else he wouldn't be putting out stories like he is. Even when he was trying to act like him and Dame was still cool early on, he was like, nah, you know, because there was a time, you know, I went to this movie, it was me and Shorty, and he just tried to coax me into jumping into the scene. I was like, damn, Dame. But the way he was delivering, it's like in that petty acting like I'm being cool, but I'm really exposing you type of shit. You know, I could see it. I was like, can't no fuck with him. He's off Dame. He's been off Dame. He's like, I don't want to deal with your shit and your type of person anymore based on where I'm at in my life. I see that with Cam. Doesn't mean that Cam's a perfect person, but Cam is eating off of this. This is what Cam does for a living. And he's got fucking little shots that he could fire back at people in the midst of it. It's like a win-win for him. And that's why Dame is sending letters now. Or emails. Thank you, Jay. Jay says 2636. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. If I was going to give you a fire back right there, I would say, chat, who do y'all got as a better artist? Robin Thicke or Justin Timberlake? Y'all could drop y'all answers in the chat. I'll come back over there in a second and pull y'all answers up. But that's my clap back at Jay. Lux the GOAT is in the building and says, surprise, David hasn't taken the tech. I can't read that whole thing. Rest in peace, Tech 9. When we watched that clip of him crying on the stage and getting emotional and possibly doing all this for a reason, because maybe he's like just going through the cycle of allegedly taking the life of one of his loved ones. Allegedly. Emotionally, people maybe do get to those moments, you know? I'm not wishing that on the guy, but this isn't a crazy comment from you, Lux. I see where you're going with that. Lux also says, good riddance to bad garbage. I don't condone how he left, but I'm glad he's gone. Oh, I think you're talking about Charlie Kirk there. As long as you're saying the words in here you don't condone, then we can keep this channel alive. Because I started my Charlie Kirk coverage making that loud and clear as well. I don't condone assassinations from differences of beliefs or ideologies. But also, I could feel very, very strongly against who you are as a person. And that's why I stand very strongly. Okay. Jay says, Black Heart King, the Blueprint, though. Oh, the Black Album, you mean? And the Black Album, it's probably got like songs like Threat on it and whatnot. It's dope. Black Album is out there. People got to remember, Jay's got a lot of albums. He's got the Blueprint 2, the double disc. He's got the Unplugged, even as like just the live orchestra stuff, right? He's got American Made, right? Got American Made that spawned off of the movie, the Denzel movie. What was the name of the Red album? Was that Kingdom Come? Some people count the Dynasty on his solo damn near resume. I don't. I think it's a collective album, but he got the Dynasty stuff out there. Got 444. gave us a lot of music, man. Gave us a lot of albums, solo albums. Great shit. But yeah, the Blueprint is number one to me. God the Brand's here. He said the dude was pissed. Allegedly, that dude thought he was the father, then found out she cheated and it wasn't his child. That's not David talking. That's David? It's about David? That's going to be one of the most interesting pieces here because it seems to be dark, this whole situation with David. So the motive, everybody's going to be like eating their popcorn for, like, why? How? When? What? You know? And that's us pretty much saying that we would believe at this point that is him. Allegedly. Sniper says, I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Yes. Or bare minimum, at least their Saturday, because we're going to see them for the rest of the weekend too. Hopefully, God's blessings. We will all be here tomorrow as well, tomorrow morning. But thank you, Sniper. I appreciate you. Yeah, we're about to get up out of here. Almost 2 hours and 30 minutes in. You know, and I don't mind at all because it's a Saturday. It's all good. What am I about to do? I'm about to hit this gym. I got to run a couple small, very, very short errands. When I say short errands, I'm talking about bullshit. Like I hit the cleaners, stop by a quick property real quick, make a call or two. Yeah, I'm gonna be at the crib most of the day. Oh, tonight I'm gonna watch the battles. We might go live again tonight. Wait, is Summer Madness tonight or tomorrow? When is Lux? Let me see if I pull the fly real quick. Load it. Lux versus New Jersey Twerk, because they say he's out. New Jersey Twerk. Is it today or tomorrow? I really should just ask the chat. It says the 21st on the flyer that I see, which would be tomorrow. Okay, so we probably won't be live tonight then. So tonight I'm gonna kick my feet up and find me a movie to watch, or should I start one of these damn series I need to catch up with, like Oz or something? I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna be here with a glass of wine on my feet up tonight. Chilling. The rest of y'all take it easy. Fuck, now that I think about it. Hold on. Watch this. What time is it in London right now? Is it going to be painful tomorrow to watch the fucking card? Damn. It's 3:27 p.m. right now in London. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 5 hours ahead. So if that card starts at 5 p.m. our time or their time, it'd be 10 p.m. for us? Am I off there? Am I tripping? That hurts because it's a Sunday. It's just like a lot of the guys pay attention to how work days go on Mondays and shit. Oh man, am I tripping there? Am I tripping? Start at 10:30. Oh, they said they're gonna start at 10 a.m. That's what they said. Yeah, so we're right. Yeah, UK is 5 hours ahead. Got homies over there, so I know. Okay, it'll be early. Did they say they're starting it at 10:30 a.m.? First of all, it's battle rap, so it's not gonna start whatever's being publicized. But fuck, 5 hours ahead. Yeah, if they don't start, damn. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be live tomorrow night. I might not even catch the actual live battle because our dad could. It's happened to me before. Same thing with boxing fights. Same thing with UFC. Especially like when they're in Vegas and the clock is ahead, and I'm on the East Coast. I order it and I just fall out, man. Damn. Looking for Lux to go. He says for him where he's at is 7 hours ahead. Shit. Maybe they did Sunday because they equated for all the travel time for all the people leaving on Fridays. I don't know. I forget how long the flight is. I've been to London before. I forget how long. I don't know. Maybe they'll be careful with the amount of travel, but so let people finish work or whatever, and then start migrating on Friday, and then Saturday still getting things together, letting everybody get in place, maybe a press conference or something, and then Sunday try to shoot for the event. So I get it. I understand, but fuck. Has it ever been broken down what made them choose London in the first place? Huh? Damn. All right. We'll see. We'll see what time the event starts tomorrow, and that'll dictate whether we're here tomorrow for a recap of the main event and the rest of the card. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, stay focused today. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy your Saturday. Be productive. And I'll catch y'all back here in the morning. I got y'all.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected to block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.